All right, it's been a minute since I have created a video, and I don't know. I actually have no idea. I just got this push to come on and to create, and that's what I'm doing. So today is March 8th. It's crazy that we are already over a week into the month. I was just thinking about how astrologically, so I was listening to a ghost of a podcast by Jessica Lanyadoo, I think. It's really good if you are into astrology. I really like her no bullshit approach to it. One of the astrological aspects that's happening right now is that Mercury is sitting on top of Neptune, or Neptune is sitting on top of Mercury. And this is triggering in us these fears of the unknown, like how kids are afraid of monsters under the bed. Like, it's not really logical, but also the feeling is so real that it affects us. And Mercury is in its pre-shadow show. And so we're preparing for that Mercury retrograde that's going to happen. So anything that's happening kind of in this time frame right now is what we can expect to be present while Mercury is retrograde. And Mercury retrograde is like the mocha latte, like the espresso martini of retrogrades, or at least it was. It's not as scary as everybody kind of make. It's like, oh no, is Mercury in the microwave? It's really a time for us to pause and to reflect. We want to, right now, Venus is retrograde too, so we just want to be moving really slow. Other thing that hit me is usually at the start of each month, I do a tarot pull for that month, like an energy read for myself. I ask, what is the energy of this month? How can I work with that energy? What will best support me? What can I release? What no longer serves me? What are lessons? I kind of cycle through questions, but it's basically around that core concept of the month. And then I will refer back to it, because as I'm doing it oftentimes, I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Or I think it's something, but then in reflection, I see that it actually takes on a different meaning. So it kind of it's those checking points through the month. On my way home, and I was in reflection on how fast time has been going, just whoa, it's already March. And also how I hadn't been doing these things and that I normally would have done. And I walked into my house and it's like a disaster. It's a complete, it's a busy Saturday morning. I was still kind of in go mode. And I took a minute to sit and chill and hang out. It started to really rise up in me, this feeling, this sensation. And it was in reflection of feminine energy, of femininity, of what's happening right now. I had posted on my Facebook page, it was someone had created and had an AI conversation, or asked AI. It was basically about how men and women aren't in competition, but the king is here to serve the queen, and how we're supposed to be working together. And the fact that we're not working together is because it's misdirected energy, basically, which I find to be a really interesting perspective, because when I explain to my clients or in my workshops divine masculine and divine feminine, I use the example of an artist and creating art. So divine feminine is the consciousness. It's whatever that artist is channeling. It's the picture. It's the whatever the artist is going to create. So it's that non-tangible energy, that connection to something other than ourselves. And then the masculine energy, or the divine masculine energy, is everything else. It's the paintbrush. It's the paper, it's the paint, it's the stroke, it's the actual product at the end. So the king serves the queen. And I thought, oh, that's so interesting. And then all of these things are kind of merging together. And I'm like, okay, let's sit down and create the video. And the first card that I pull is the Queen of Pentacles. So I love this. The Queen of Pentacles is the working parent. I think it's really important right now that women are really getting very involved. I hear a lot of women being of concern, having women in these positions of power. So having them in more spaces of Congress or town halls or school boards or whatever it is, having that, that presence there, because she is, again, that working parent where she really does both. I mean, it's interesting because it's almost like if we're at work, there's this like mindset around that. There's that perspective that like our place is the home. And over time and time again, and through all sorts of different civilizations and all different cultures, women have always done both. They've always, and I have a blog on this that you can find on my website, that we've always been involved. We've always played multiple roles in child rearing and in societies and in culture and things like that. And so this, I love it that I'm pulling it right now. She looks down at her values. Venus is retrograde right now. This is a really important time for us to look at our finances, at the things that we put value to, at our relationships, and not just our intimate relationships, but those relationships with people that you have at the grocery store or at work or on social media, on social spaces. So with that idea and that notion of this kind of femininity rising, this feminine energy rising and taking root and really like sowing the seeds that like then the men are going to like, create and build that up and protect that and from there. So link the video in the notes or comments section. So the Chariot card is moving forward. The Chariot gets where he's going because he is determined. He's got grit. He's got passion. Like the Sphinxes are opposite colors. They're going in opposite directions. Like no matter what, we're getting where we need to be. There's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of teachings. And I think that I'm speaking very strongly again to that feminine energy. That like it's time to lead. It's time to step up. We always feel like we're not doing enough. Well, maybe right now, hearing we need to do more. And in this section of taking our values, with what do we value? We value that our, children and all children. And I'm not saying that this is just females, but I am right now, I feel like I'm talking to just the ladies, the ladies and the dudes that really support the ladies. It is time for us to step into these spaces so that we can make the things that we value, children to be healthy and eating nutritious foods. We want nutritious foods for all of us. We want really safe communities. We want really good schools. We want really secure, facilities. We want infrastructure. We want growth. We want partnership, right? Collaboration with other countries. We want to work hand in hand. We want to be united to the best possible. There's always going to be that type of resistance. And so I think there's all of the things that we value, we're really meant to take and rebirth. The death card is never death. Technically we're seeing the death and the ending of heavy self-serving energies. And I think that what, we often see with something before it dies is that last grasping, that last that last purge of energy, and then death. From death comes birth, right? And just like that video that I keep referencing to, she talks about the feminine, going in and literally planting the seeds of the new gardens. And so excited. I think, I hope. I do want to just pull one card from the Rebecca Campbell deck, Work Your Light Oracle. I love it. It's a very feminine deck. It's lots of really nice soft colors. So I thought because this reading and the energy feels so feminine focused, this would be a good way to kind of wrap it all up. So let's see. Oh, what we got. This is funny. Seriously. Can't make this shit up. The first card, after me saying go, 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 is no. Wait. Postpone. Stop. Things are changing at a cellular level. Transformation. There's deep healing happening right now. Unbound. Releasing old patterns, contracts, and past lives. Everything I just said, great, but pause. Let's focus on continuing our transformation, right? We're still going through it. I don't know. I never take no as no. Like if someone tells me not to do something, I'm gonna probably do it. So I guess that's the universe's way of saying, like knowing that if it tells me, no, you can't do this, I'll be like, I actually have to do it now because you told me I can't. Not to be confusing. Transformation. All right, the message of transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. There's deep healing. Things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will soon be. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within yourself. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. As you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. You are being called to find new ways to self-soothe. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshun influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. And Oshun represents the tender love of the original mother. A rethreading is happening, healing at the deepest of levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regimen, or getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. And then to work with this, you would hold this card, or maybe you just like listen to this part of the video. I allow myself to receive the deepest healing and transformation for change to happen at a cellular level. When we heal ourselves, we help to heal a part of the collective. So it does start with us, and it does start on a cellular level. And these are some pretty heavy, dark, mucky times, and this too shall pass. Everything's gonna be all right.